When it comes to linear equations, sometimes an equation can have one solution and sometimes it can have more than one solution. So let's look at some examples of what we might see here. In this first case, I have 4x minus 11 equals 11 plus 4x. Now, if I try to solve this equation and get x all by itself on one side, I can subtract 4x from here and subtract 4x from here. It cancels out here, and it also cancels out here. So what I end up with is negative 11 equals 11. All my x's are gone. And this equation that I'm looking at, is this true? No, this equation is not true. So this equation actually has no solution. All right, let's take a look at another example. In this next example, I have 3 times x minus 7 plus 4x equals 11 plus 7x minus 10. So in this next example, I need to use the distributive property to simplify first to get rid of the parentheses. So I have 3 times x, which is 3x, and I have 3 times minus 7, which is minus 21, and then I still have my 4x equals 11 plus 7x minus 10. So now I need to get the x's on one side. I need to combine like terms first. So on the left side of the equal sign, I have 3x and 4x, which are like terms. And if I combine 3x and 4x, I get 7x minus 21. And then on the right-hand side, I have 11 and negative 10, which are like terms also. So 11 and negative 10 combined, I have my 7x, and then I have 1, right? Now, if I try to get the x's on one side, if I subtract, let's say I want to get this x and move it over, and I subtract 7x from here and here, it cancels out. And I'm left with negative 21 equals 1. This is another untrue equation. This is not true. That means there's no solution. Now, what would happen if there's a true equation? So what would happen if I had 3x minus 11 times 2 equals 6x minus 22. So if I simplify this, I get 6x minus 22 equals 6x minus 22. You can already kind of see this is exactly the same thing on both sides. And just to prove it, if I were to subtract 6x from here and from here, it cancels from both sides, and I get negative 22 equals negative 22. So what does this mean? This is actually a true equation. This means that there are infinite solutions. And what that means is infinite solutions means anything that I plug in for x in this equation will make the equation true, because it's essentially the same thing on both sides.